Welcome to Latino Wall Street Live. I'm here with a very special guest, Catalina Stubbe, the National Director for Moms for Liberty. And today she's joining me to talk about the importance of education for our kids, but not just traditional education, financial education, innovative education, the education that actually makes it different in our kids and that allows them to grow and be successful. But that's what every mother and parent could ever want. Welcome.
Thank you so much, Gabby. This is an honor for me to you invite our organization to the New York Stock Exchange. This is huge. This is kind of even like very American. It's the place
The
where
American dream.
capitalism it was born, and this is what exactly define America. And I think this is what we should embrace as a parents to become our children to become very successful in life, very prepared. But well, unfortunately, it's not happening right now in our schools, in our public schools. So we need to do a lot of things.
Yes. So let's walk through those things that we need to make sure that we do, right? So, for example, I was privileged back home and in New York City to go to the best school. But even though I had great traditional education, they didn't give me financial education, right? So even though, spend a lot of money, go back home, I went to a British school and I went to NYU in the city and all this stuff, you would hope they give you the basics so that you can learn how to invest. Any job that you do, even if you are a dancer, you're going to make money. You need to know how to make it work, right? So what are those tools that are missing from the school system that we need to put in place so that we can create a more successful generation?
Well, the situation is really is not good because our children they're graduating without being prepared for the future. Not only, I mean, financially, in everything, in all aspects in academics. So they do not read at the level, they are not doing math at their level. And well, this new administration is focusing on support the better education and to provide better education based on academics for our children. It's something that is missing and is even not even for children, but for parents too. Financial education, financial literacy is very important for any person. Anyone can do that. You don't need to do specific big
Right.
achievements or diplomas. If you learn the basic and you like it, you probably can actually afford that in the future. So for me to bring a sneak peek to the children, even since probably since middle school, high school, they can get a glimpse of what is the stock change. And not even that, but some of them they are graduating without knowing how to sign a check, how to file taxes, how to the basics of the basics, how to not only to keep the money, to invest their money, to real estate. I mean, it's so many things that's why it's failing and failing constantly. And it's not the fault of the parents. I mean, it's somehow the government should offer these to the children, and then the parents continue to pursue this way.
Yeah, it's very important that not only do we give the tools, right, for our kids, so the right tools, the tools that are actually going to help them. So to give an example of basic, writing a check, filing your taxes, right, working on your retirement funds, very basic things. We don't have to get fancy and, oh, we're going to trade in the stock market. That can come after, right? But just start step by step. Not only delegate that to the school, but actually then implement it at home. Why don't we sit together, as a mother next to my kid and review all those things that he's learning to make sure he's executing on it? Because we all know that if you're just learning things and you never apply them, it doesn't work, right? It doesn't make a difference. If I know I should do X, Y, and Z, but if I never do it, then might as well not know it. So what about other tools like leadership tools, right? So when it comes to political world where we met, or where it comes to the school system, in any industry, leadership, right? Business, finance, leadership is crucial. So what are those things that we can teach in addition to financial education, so our kids can become great leaders of whatever they choose?
It's very important what you just said. And the first of all things that we need to teach our children is to control themselves. If they can control themselves, they can control the world, basically. So they need to understand what is life. They need to understand their emotion. They need to understand how to treat others, and they need to understand how can I navigate through life and all the basic things. Because it needs to learn ethics. They need to learn so many things before just uh, you know have money.
Yeah.
It's many other things that it construct the human beings. We have seen politicians that has make a step ahead. For example, in Florida, we have Governor DeSantis that he 2 years ago he passed this law that is teaching the basic for the kids, preparing better the children for the future. This is for me essential because they need to learn how to keep their money, not only how to win money or being an employee. They can be entrepreneurs. They can be successful in life, independent. Not only some of them they just wait to be dependent on the government. Some of them they just depend on a job or being employers for the rest of their life. And this is frustrating, and it doesn't make grow our country. Our country need a better education to better be like the leader in the world.
Exactly. No, 100%. I think for them to have clarity of what their values are, that starts with the family, of course, and having that, clarity. Look, this is what I stand for, this, what I believe in, and then being able to have the right tools to share that in the world. I think that's what's going to make our kids powerful. That combined with the right skill set, with the tools, with the inspiration we're going to give them to do the right things. It's a beautiful thing. We're working hard. I think both of us, what we have in common, to transform the education. We're doing it in different ways. I do it with Latino Wall Street for financial education. We're starting a new initiative called Wall Street Kids to help children learn about this world, give them access to this world that could only be in your dreams for a person with no resources, right? So make it accessible. And for you, do you want to share what you guys do and what you have accomplished with education and in your field with Moms for Liberty?
So absolutely. I am the National Director for Moms for Liberty. It's a nonprofit organization across the country that help parental rights, that actually stand for parental rights, and we are restoring public education. We identified that there's so many Marxist ideologies pushing to our kids, and the results are evident. I mean, we see that they are not reading at the level, they are not solving the problems at the level, they have been graduating without being prepared for the future. So what we're just doing is changing legislation, protecting women's sports, protecting their bodies. I mean, they cannot transition until they reach the adulthood. So for me, it's protecting the child, protecting all the environment, so the teacher, the parents, and give them, they deserve better. They deserve a better education. So I think this is the moment to stand for our children and to keep this fire of liberty in our hearts and just keep it. I mean, they're the future of our country, and we need to keep that. We can fix it, immigration, we can fix the economy, but if we do not fix education right now, the new generation, this is going to be our future.
Our future, absolutely. We want to thank you so much for your time and for all the work that you do for our kids. You guys can follow her on Instagram, Catalina Stubbe.
Cata Stubbe, Instagram, X, Catalina Stubbe, or Moms4Liberty, Moms for Liberty.
Yeah, or momsforliberty.com. So thank you for joining us, and until next time, thank you so much.